In today's video, we're revealing 30 zoo-born animals that appear only once in 1,000 years. And one of them might leave you wondering how it even exists. Let's start. Double Dave is a rare two-headed garter snake that fascinates researchers because both heads are fully functional. Discovered in New Jersey in 2019 by two researchers named Dave. The snake belongs to the species Thamnophis sertalis and developed its condition due to a genetic mutation in which the embryo failed to fully separate. Each head has its own brain and behaves independently, often causing coordination problems as the heads move in opposite directions or compete for food, despite sharing a single stomach. Due to these challenges, the snake requires specialized care, underscoring how unusual genetic anomalies can produce creatures that seem almost fantastical. In 2014, an extraordinary birth took place in northwestern Croatia when a goat was born with 2 extra legs. Nicknamed Autocat, the animal became a global phenomenon not only because of its unusual appearance, but also due to the mystery surrounding its birth. The farm owner initially doubted the reports, prompting neighbors to visit and confirm the situation. Soon after, the case attracted the attention of scientists and curious observers alike. Experts explained that the condition likely resulted from a twin that failed to fully develop in the mother's womb, leading to the formation of extra limbs. Although the goat lived only a short time, the case left a lasting impression on the scientific community, illustrating the unpredictable nature of biological development. Have you ever heard of or seen an animal born with a similar condition? Share your experience below. In 2018, footage recorded in Guizhou, China, appeared to show a fish with a pigeon-like head, a combination that seemed impossible. In reality, the creature was a fish with a physical deformity that altered the shape of its skull, giving it a bird-like appearance. Experts suggested the condition may have been caused by developmental issues, injury, or environmental factors affecting its growth. Despite its unusual look, the fish swam normally and showed no visible signs of illness. The so-called pigeonfish demonstrates how quickly an unusual video can capture public imagination and spark widespread speculation.
The ocean is full of mysteries, and nature sometimes produces rare anomalies. One such case occurred off the coast of Florida in 2013 when a fisherman caught a pregnant bull shark. Inside, scientists discovered a fetus with 2 fully formed heads attached to a single body. Each head had its own brain, a condition known as dicephaly, which is extremely rare in sharks. Researchers noted that such an individual would be unlikely to survive in the wild due to severe limitations in swimming and hunting. Even so, the discovery offered valuable insight into developmental anomalies and served as a reminder of how unpredictable the natural world can be. In a small town in Thailand, residents encountered an unusual animal that quickly drew widespread attention. The creature appeared to have the body and limbs of a calf, but with abnormal skin, reptile-like scales, and an elongated snout, giving it an unsettling appearance. Images of the animal spread rapidly online, leading to speculation about its origin. While some locals, shocked and frightened, performed traditional rituals to ward off perceived misfortune, experts explained that the animal was most likely a calf with a severe genetic disorder that affected its development and skin. Sadly, such conditions often prevent survival long after birth. Although short-lived, the case remains one of the region's most unusual documented biological anomalies. In an era of digital manipulation, a discovery in the Gulf of California challenged public skepticism when a rare shark embryo was found inside a pregnant sand tiger shark. The specimen had a single, centrally located eye, a condition known as cyclopia, formed from functional optical tissue rather than an illusion. Although experts noted that such an anomaly would likely prevent survival after birth, the case attracted widespread attention and is now documented among the most unusual biological anomalies, illustrating how real organisms can appear almost mythical. A safari in Africa is supposed to be an amazing experience, but getting too close to wildlife can clearly lead to terrifying consequences. If you want to see it, I've also added a direct link to it in the pinned comment below this video. And don't forget to come back. The next discovery is about a 4-legged duck. When Stampy was born on a farm in England in 2007, he surprised everyone by having 4 fully formed legs instead of 2. Such mutations often lead to mobility and health challenges, but Stampy adapted remarkably well. Although he did not use the extra legs for walking and they trailed behind him, he developed an unusual yet effective gait and lived an active life on the farm. Even after complications with the extra limbs required medical intervention, Stampy continued to thrive, demonstrating resilience despite a rare physical anomaly. Bolin is a rare marine hybrid born from a female bottlenose dolphin and a male tropical pilot whale, sometimes called a false killer whale. Although these species are different, they occasionally travel together in mixed groups for protection and feeding, which creates rare opportunities for interbreeding. The result is an animal that combines the grace of a dolphin with the larger build of a pilot whale, an unusual but real example of nature producing an unexpected hybrid. Tap the like button to let us know this content is making a difference, and if you're watching on your phone, be sure to press the hype button right below. The next story isn't about a hybrid born at sea, but about a life on land that refused to give up. In 2016, a lamb born in Yunnan Province, China, left many people amazed. The lamb was born with only 2 front legs, yet it learned to walk by balancing upright, much like a tightrope walker. To the surprise of local farmers, the animal not only survived, but also adapted to its condition, developing the ability to balance and move with surprising skill. Its story spread quickly and inspired many, serving as a powerful example of resilience and adaptation despite physical challenges. Nature often produces extraordinary cases, and one example is Hope, a tiny albino turtle born with a rare congenital condition that left her heart located outside her shell. Such conditions are usually life-threatening, but Hope survived thanks to the dedicated care of Mike Alina, a reptile enthusiast who provided a carefully controlled environment to reduce the risk of injury or infection. Despite her fragile health, Hope showed remarkable resilience, and her story eventually gained widespread attention on Instagram, where thousands followed her journey as a symbol of perseverance and hope. In the insect world, few creatures are as striking as the giant weta. Native to New Zealand, this large, cricket-like insect can grow up to 10 centimeters long and can weigh more than a mouse, making it one of the heaviest insects on Earth. Despite its intimidating appearance, the giant weta is harmless to humans. Its size prevents it from flying and causes it to move slowly, and it typically spends its time quietly on the ground. Known for its calm nature, the giant weta is a remarkable example of how evolution can produce creatures that appear almost otherworldly while remaining entirely real. When nature blends its own components in rare genetic combinations, the result can be truly unexpected. One such case occurred on a farm in Kildare, Ireland, where a farmer discovered an unusual hybrid born from a goat and a sheep, affectionately named Gib. The animal lacked the thick wool of a typical lamb and instead had a more slender body, agile legs, and high energy, appearing to combine traits from both species. Such hybrids are extremely rare because genetic differences between goats and sheep usually prevent successful birth. Remarkably, Gib not only survived, but was born healthy and full of vitality, defying biological odds. Researchers at Vietnam National University reportedly conducted a laboratory study involving seahorses in luminescent materials derived from jellyfish, combined with microscopic particles to observe light-emitting effects during early development. The experiment involved more than 100 live seahorses and was conducted for research purposes rather than commercial use. While images of the glowing seahorses spread widely online and sparked public fascination, experts emphasized that the project was experimental and not intended to promote genetically modified animals as luxury pets. Hybrid big cats are rare, but one of the most unusual examples is the leopon, a hybrid between a leopard and a lioness. 2 such cubs, Shasara and Tsunami, were born in captivity at a wildlife sanctuary in Canada. After a leopard named Diablo and a lioness named Lola unexpectedly shared space, the cubs inherited a mix of traits from both parents, resulting in distinctive coats and appearances that blend lion strength with leopard patterning, making them a remarkable example of rare feline hybrids. In a village in India, residents were surprised when a goat was born with unusual facial features that resembled human-like proportions. Images of the animals spread quickly, drawing widespread attention. Experts explained that the appearance was caused by a rare congenital condition that affected the development of the skull and facial structure. While uncommon, such conditions have been documented in farm animals before. Despite the goat's appearance, it has been cared for by its owner, who considers it unique and special. When nature and science intersect, the results can be surprising. One such example is Rama, a cama, a rare hybrid created from a camel and a llama. Born in 1998 at the Dubai Zoo, Rama was the result of a scientific breeding effort aimed at combining the camel's strength and endurance with the llama's smaller size and calmer temperament. The hybrid inherited shaggy fur, a slender face, and notable strength, but unlike camels, camas do not have humps. Researchers explored this hybrid as a potential animal suited for agricultural work and carrying loads, making the cama a fascinating example of purposeful crossbreeding. Albino crocodiles and alligators often appear almost mythical, with ivory white skin and pale pink or light blue eyes. Although they may resemble creatures from legend, they are real and extremely rare. Albinism is caused by a genetic mutation that prevents the production of melanin, the pigment responsible for skin and eye color. This condition makes these reptiles more vulnerable, as their lack of camouflage leaves them easily visible to predators. Because of these challenges, most albino crocodiles and alligators live in protected environments, such as wildlife facilities. Experts estimate that only around 100 individuals exist worldwide, making them among the rarest reptiles on Earth. On a small farm in the Philippines, owners were surprised when one of their pigs gave birth to a piglet with a rare congenital condition. The piglet was born with 2 heads and 3 eyes, a condition known as dicephaly, which quickly drew attention online. Born in Sultan Kudarat, the piglet struggled to feed because each mouth attempted to nurse separately, making survival difficult. Although it lived only a short time, the case left a strong impression on those who witnessed it and highlighted the rare and challenging outcomes of severe developmental anomalies. The three-toed sloth is known for its slow movement, a trait shared by all sloths for thousands of years. However, this lifestyle has made the pygmy three-toed sloth especially vulnerable. This rare species is critically endangered due to habitat destruction and fragmentation, hunting, the presence of feral cats, and limited legal protection for both the animal and its environment. Conservation efforts have so far struggled to reverse the population decline. Despite its protected status, reports indicate that illegal trade still occurs, driven by demand for exotic animals. These pressures continue to threaten the survival of one of the world's most endangered sloth species. The creature known as the Great Argus is not mythical or dangerous, but a rare species of pheasant found in parts of Southeast Asia, including Borneo. It is highly elusive, and even experienced observers may see one only once in the wild. The Great Argus is best known for its elaborate courtship display, which is rarely witnessed and difficult to capture on film. Because of its declining habitat and secretive nature, conserving the species is especially important, ensuring that future generations can continue to observe its remarkable behavior. The Sumatran orangutan is a clear example of how habitat destruction has pushed many species towards severe population decline. Unlike humans, these animals cannot easily relocate and depend on a stable environment to survive. Years of deforestation caused by human expansion have drastically reduced the Sumatran forests, leaving orangutans with shrinking habitats and limited resources. Despite these challenges, the species still survives, and individuals continue to be documented in the wild. Conservation efforts, including reforestation and wildlife protection programs, are working to restore damaged habitats and support the remaining population. The long-billed Echidna zaglacis, long thought to be extinct, was documented again in November 2023 when an Oxford University expedition recorded rare video footage in remote Indonesian forests. This elusive mammal is a monotreme, part of one of the oldest mammalian lineages, laying eggs and tracing its origins back more than 60 million years to the Jurassic period. With its elongated electroceptive beak, toothless mouth, sticky tongue, and protective fur and spines, it is well adapted to a secretive nocturnal life spent foraging for insects and improving soil health. Its extreme shyness and slow metabolism help explain why it went unrecorded for more than a century. The rediscovery places the echidna among so-called living fossils alongside species such as the coelacanth and tuatara. Beyond its biological importance, it also holds cultural significance in local traditions where it symbolizes patience, resilience, and balance. This finding is both a scientific achievement and a reminder of the challenges ahead. While it shows that rare species can persist unnoticed, ongoing threats such as deforestation, mining, and agricultural expansion continue to endanger their survival. Protecting the long-billed echidna also means preserving its forest habitat and the many species that depend on it. The golden lion tamarin, Leontopithecus rosalia, is one of Brazil's most recognized symbols of wildlife conservation. Native to the Atlantic forest, this small primate is known for its bright golden fur, which forms a man-like frame around its dark face and gives it the appearance of a tiny lion. Despite its size, it has become a global emblem of resilience and recovery after being pushed close to extinction. Endemic to the Atlantic forest of Rio de Janeiro, the species relies on dense lowland forests with hollow trees for shelter and a varied diet of fruits, insects, and small animals. Highly social golden lion tamarins live in family groups, communicate through vocalizations and scent marking, and share caregiving duties, with males playing an important role in raising offspring. By the 1970s, habitat loss, forest fragmentation, and illegal wildlife trade had reduced the wild population to roughly 200 individuals. This crisis triggered one of the most successful conservation efforts in history, bringing together Brazilian and international researchers to protect habitats, restore forests, and rebuild populations. Today, the golden lion tamarin stands as a powerful reminder that coordinated conservation can reverse even severe population declines. Birds of paradise are a family of birds found primarily in eastern Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, and parts of eastern Australia. This family includes about 45 species, many of which face population declines. The main threats affecting these birds are similar across species. They have historically been hunted for their striking feathers, which were used in decorative and textile applications, and their natural habitats continue to be reduced by deforestation. Because these pressures occur across multiple countries, they pose a serious risk to several species within the family, making conservation efforts increasingly important. Madagascar is home to extraordinary biodiversity, but many of its species face serious threats. One of the island's most distinctive animals is the fossa, its top native predator. The fossa is a relative of the mongoose and is known as the primary predator of lemurs. Despite its role at the top of the food chain, it is rarely seen, making it difficult for scientists to study. As a result, population estimates remain uncertain, which complicates conservation efforts and makes it harder to assess how the species is truly faring in the wild. The spotted handfish, Brachyonychthys, is one of the world's rarest fish, known for moving along the seabed using fin-like hands rather than swimming. Endemic to the coastal waters of Tasmania, it occupies a very limited habitat and has little ability to migrate, making it especially vulnerable to environmental change. Pollution, coastal development, accidental fishing, and invasive predators have significantly reduced its population. Now classified as critically endangered, with only a few thousand individuals remaining, the species faces serious survival challenges. Conservation efforts are underway to protect habitats, manage threats, and support breeding programs. The spotted handfish serves as both a scientific curiosity and a reminder of how fragile specialized species can be in changing ecosystems. Many aquatic species are also at serious risk, and few are as endangered as the vaquita. The vaquita is the world's smallest and rarest marine mammal, found only in the northern Gulf of California near Mexico's Baja California Peninsula. According to recent estimates from conservation organizations, fewer than 10 individuals are believed to remain. Discovered only in 1958, the species has experienced a rapid population decline, primarily due to entanglement in illegal fishing nets. Because vaquitas live close to the coast and do not avoid human activity, they're especially vulnerable to accidental capture. With such a critically low population, the species faces an extreme risk of extinction, and only strong, sustained conservation efforts offer a chance for its survival. The axolotl is one of the world's most unique and endangered amphibians. Native to Mexico, its name comes from an Aztec deity, but its remarkable abilities are biological rather than mythical. Axolotls are known for their extraordinary capacity to regenerate lost limbs and even parts of vital organs. In the wild, they live only in the remaining canals and wetlands connected to lakes near the southern edge of Mexico City. Although axolotls are bred in captivity and kept as pets in other parts of the world, wild populations continue to decline due to pollution, habitat loss, and water contamination. Because they live entirely underwater, they are especially vulnerable to environmental pollutants. In 1998, there were an estimated 6,000 individuals per square kilometer, but by 2010, that number had dropped to about 35. This dramatic decline is why the species is now listed as critically endangered. Without continued conservation efforts, the axolotl faces a serious risk of extinction. We now return to Africa to explore the story of the okapi, a species that was unknown to Western science until the late 19th century. With its striking appearance, the okapi is unlike any other mammal, which helps explain why it is rarely seen in the wild. Native to the dense rainforests of the Congo Basin, the okapi is naturally elusive and spends much of its time concealed by thick vegetation. The species was formally recognized in 1901 and is now known to be a close relative of the giraffe, despite its zebra-like striped hind legs. These stripes help provide camouflage in forest light and may also aid identification among individuals. Due to its rarity and restricted habitat, the okapi is the focus of dedicated conservation efforts, highlighting the importance of protecting one of Africa's most distinctive mammals. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Also, check out other interesting videos appearing on your screen right now, and see you in the next video.